always inadvertently.
It's on his way.
Okay.
It was at 2:15.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so I'm going to start out by talking about the syllabus. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the syllabus. I'm not going to go through page for page because I've done that in the past. Spent the whole class talking about it, and then I find out nobody reads it anyway. It's like 3 months into the course, and people are asking me like, "So when are the quizzes going to be online, Dr. Dunn?" It's December, sir. Anyways, so I'm just going to give you a basic overview of the syllabus. My first instruction is to read the syllabus. Okay, I've put a lot of work into it. I've created it. I know it's long, but that's just the nature of the beast these days. That used to be you could get very, very brief, very sketchy syllabi, and could get away with that, and just nothing was clear. You asked the professor, and you rely on the professor to remember. But those days are over. It's like a contract, and you should know what you're expecting of me and then what I'm expecting of you. So that's fine. It doesn't bother me. I mean, it took me some time to write it, and it will take you some time to read it. But, read the sections that are the most important, the ones that really pertain, like the requirements for the course, class attendance, if you're worried about that, you might have issues with that. What to do for the assignments in the course and stuff like that. There really aren't any assignments, but if there were, and stuff that doesn't pertain to you, like the section on Title IX, which is about gender equality and discrimination, which is fine, it's significant, but it might not apply to you. Okay, so you can pass over that, and then you can go through for the things that are important, like the due dates, when things are due, like the quizzes and stuff. Maybe make a little crib sheet for yourself, write down the dates, and then you can fill in your calendar so you know what's coming and what's expected. Okay. So let's go over the basic information. Well, I've already said this is religion and violence and Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I guess you know that. And I'm Dr. Dunn. You should know that already, I would imagine. I've sent you an email or emails, and maybe you've looked at Canvas. And there's some information about me on there. Hold on a second. Got all my syllabi here all in one place. Here we go. Selected topics of religion. And apparently you know the hall and the room number. What's the course description? I did not write this course description. This is something that it's a special topics course. So it's something that is especially assigned during a semester. So there's no hard and fast or set syllabus description or course description. Mr. Don't tell me, Mr. Martini? Good. Okay. Mr. Martini. I'll get that later. All right. So I created this description, but I based it off of a syllabus from some teacher at the University of Florida who was teaching a similar course, or maybe exactly the same course, probably. So the course serves as an introductory exploration into the interdisciplinary study of religion and violence. It's a fancy way of saying, well, first it's introductory, so we're not going to go deep, deep, deep. It's not a graduate course or something. And it's going to be interdisciplinary, meaning that we'll look at a variety of different viewpoints, psychology, religion, obviously, but psychology, sociology, anatomy, stuff like that, biology, and helping us discuss the issue and maybe come to some ideas about it, maybe conclusions, but that would be nice, but you never know. Might not. The course provides an overview of what religion and violence are. So just taking it logically, it's religion and violence. So I'll talk about what religion is, how religion's studied, talk about violence. What do we call violence? What is it? How do we know how to recognize it? Because we seem to be able to recognize it, don't we? I hope, just like we seem to recognize what's religious and not what's not religious, don't we? You shake your head, yes. Yes. Or you nod your head, I should say. Yes. Anyways, so we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about, just related questions like, does religion is it violent? How is it violent? How can it be used violently? Does it have to be violent? Is it by nature violent? And we'll talk about some of those issues. Some people say yes, some people say no, obviously. Let's see, how religion might be embedded, or how violence might be embedded in religion itself, yes. And it looks at religiously motivated violence, religious justifications for political violence. Oh, I put political violence there. I should have just said religious justifications for violence. It's why people think they have to be violent religiously. And why is it wrong? Why can't I punch someone in the nose if they blaspheme the Prophet Muhammad? Talk bad about him. Why not? My motive's religious, but so what? If they're talking bad about you, my student. I'm not going to have that. Whammo! Enter the octagon. Is that all right? Because someone talks bad about my country, attacks my country, maybe verbally. So I give them a little smack. Or maybe physically. You know, they're physically trying to attack my country. So I have to stop them. My motivation is political, maybe. Patriotic. Okay. All right, so that's a question that could be asked. Religious rejections and resolutions of violence. How do religions try to reject violence or resolve conflicts between them or with other people? Through lecture, discussion, and readings, this course will address a variety of religious traditions in different regions and historical periods. It will also explore a variety of approaches to religious studies. Okay, yeah, that's kind of a broad statement. Mainly since this is has a Christian Catholic lineage, the main focus will be coming from a Christian perspective. I will integrate, however, because I teach world religions as well, so I know a little bit, enough to make me dangerous, you know. So I will integrate that a little bit, and there will be some, well, I shouldn't say a little bit, actually. I do have a bunch of readings from other religions like Buddhism and stuff like that. So we'll talk about that, not just Christian violence, but also, say, violence that's going on with other religions. Let's try to be cross topic. Okay, so that's the basic description of the course. The textbook, there is no required textbook for the course. So if you've gone on the bookstore and looked for the course and haven't found anything, that was not a mistake. I'm not assigning any textbook for the course, only because I'd have to read it. No, but there are a lot of readings. I'm giving out not a lot of readings, but they're enough. And they're not, some are longish, but most of them I think are relatively short. And I wanted to keep them that way again, because, Mr. Martini, I have to read them too. I got to think about myself. And then I think about the students, and I know you have other classes and things that you're, working on. So there are readings, but no assigned textbook or anything like that. Just the readings that I place on Canvas and that are given to you in the schedule. So start doing those as soon as possible, please. The requirements for the course, pretty bare for this course, I think. I think mainly I'm going to focus mainly on discussion and the information and talking about this topic. There will be a final exam at the end, which will be cumulative. So you might, you want to take notes and pay attention because you'll have the final exam, which is 50% of the grade. So that's a big chunk of the grade, well, half the grade. So, and then 4 quizzes given throughout the course. They're a significant portion, 35%. And the quizzes, if you've read the syllabus already, they're all on Canvas. You can use your notes to take them because your notes should be helpful to you. And you're kind of already taking the final exam by taking the quizzes. But I've written hundreds of questions, so it's very unlikely any person is going to get exactly the same quiz that another person's getting on Canvas because it's randomized. So, Canvas is just selecting. So I don't know what you might see on the quiz out of all the questions. And what you might see on the final exam, you might see questions on the final exam that never were covered on a quiz because Canvas just didn't select them in the randomization process. So you got to pay attention and be aware. Take notes and pay attention. Nevertheless, the quizzes. And then class participation is 15%. And that's just voluntary. That's to make sure that people are engaging with the course. I lost one already. Always do. Oh, well. I want to make sure you're engaging with the course. Ask questions, do a reading, talk, discussion about things that we watch. So that shows me that you are actively involved, and it takes you away from, I don't know, maybe a gambling website for a few minutes, but you know, when I call on you, that's all right. And just remember that I get 5% of your winnings, please. Just 5%. Oh, I'm recording this. Shh, no. No, I'm just kidding. So class participation, and if that makes someone uncomfortable, I know some people are shy and are introverted and stuff, and if that's a problem for you, then making me aware of it, and I'll try to remember not to call on you or whatever. But I'm doing it for your benefit. I'm not trying to land on anybody or trying to call out anybody like, oh, I think she's not paying attention, so miss, you know. No, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you earn that little check mark for class participation, which will help your grade. And I also want to know what you think. I want to have a conversation back and forth, and it's whatever. So I'm not just doing it to be, a jerk or nasty. Well, I'm not doing it to be words. I'm not doing it to be a jerk or to be nasty. I'm trying to help you out with your grade, but I'm also trying to, make the course hopefully a little more interesting than just hearing me talk all the time. Okay, so that's what's required for the course. Other things, let's see, books I mentioned, requirements, I did that. Yep. I guess the only other major thing to talk about is class attendance. It's on here on the requirements, even though it's not technically a grading element, it can affect your grade. So you want to be aware of that with attendance. Yes, we have to take attendance for the university for the first few weeks. That's mainly because of legal stuff, and like if you're getting student loans, they want to make sure that you're actually showing up to class and not just claiming the loan and then disappearing, apparently. But that's the reason that we're required to take attendance. But I also keep doing it, as I think most of your professors do. And if you're not coming and this is like your job for now, so even if you have another job, I get that. But that's not my business. That's your business. If you're going to work at Starbucks and go to college, that's fine. I understand. I got to pay bills, but again, that's not me. All right. I have what I'm doing here. This is my job, and so I expect you to be here. So you might want to look at the class attendance, because if you're not here, then it can affect your final grade. It can affect your performance in the course. Obviously, it's going to affect class participation, because if you're not here, you can't do nothing, right? You're not here. But if you miss like too much of the course, then you'll fail automatically. If you miss like a month, which shouldn't be an issue, I hope. But sometimes it is. And I understand that people have family issues or other issues that are going on. So you have to kind of like plan for that, okay? Because again, I'm not trying to sound nasty or like a jerk, but that's not me. I didn't do that to you. If there's some issue you know about, you don't want to add another issue by then saying, okay, I just won't go to class today because I have to do this. And this is more important. It may be more important. But once you get to a certain point where you've missed like a month of the class and I've been sending you emails saying, where are you? You're getting close. You're going to fail the course if you miss a month or something. Then now you have another issue on to burden yourself with. And that we don't want that. I don't want that, and you don't want that. So look at the class attendance policy. That's important. And I guess that's it. The rest of it's covered in here. I should have said that before. I forgot. Oh well. Well, my last thing I'll talk about should really have been my first, but read the syllabus, please. I know it's longish, but read the syllabus, because I wrote it out for you, and it treats specifically and explicitly all the requirements and a whole bunch of things related to the course, okay? Because if you come to me and you ask me something that's treated in the syllabus, what do you think I'm going to say? What am I going to ask you? Nothing. I know it's the afternoon. What am I going to say? What do you think I'm going to say? Yeah, what is the syllabus? What's the syllabus say, If you can answer that question, oh yeah, the syllabus is X, Y, and Z. Well, okay, now we can go on. What's your question then? What's not clear to you? What's not covered? But if you just don't read the syllabus, then I'm not going to answer it. I'm going to say, go and read the syllabus. Well, I will answer it, but I'll say, go and read the syllabus. That's in the syllabus. Please read it first. And then if there's still a question, come to me. Because and that should be just like the logical progression. I mean, if I'm like, well, what do I think Dr. Dunn wants me to do for the course? Do you think he wants this? You know, well, is that a requirement? Well, where would you think that information would be? I guess you would have put it in the syllabus, but I'll go and ask him. Okay. Well, you can go and ask me, or you could just look in the syllabus and then have your question answered. If you come to me without having looked in the syllabus and your question probably answered, I'm just going to say, go read the syllabus. All right? So read the syllabus. I can't emphasize that enough. That's part, or look through it, certainly, know what's expected of you. All righty. Put that there. What do we got going here? Any questions? Anything that I was unclear about or you wanted me to talk about? Yes, go ahead, miss.
I can't get over.
Is it? I thought I published it. It's not showing? Okay, so it might not. Okay, that's fine. I thought I had published it. I'll check it to see. Because, I thought I had published all the pages for the classes or the courses I'm teaching. So I apologize if I didn't. But I know it's there. Okay, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, because you can miss those buttons on Canvas and stuff and assume that assume that it's there, but I can't see what you see. I don't have student view. I mean, I have student view, but I'm not seeing when I'm editing it the same thing you're seeing. So it appears to me, but it might not be appearing to you. So I'll take a look. Thank you. What's your first letter of your last name, miss? K? Ah. Don't tell me. Oh, Miss Coke. That's right. I should remember that, Miss Coke. Huh? Oh, I thought you said Coke. Oh, it's Cook? Sorry. No, thanks for telling me. Da-da-da-da, Miss Cook. Da-da-da-da-da-da. All righty. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little. I want to show a video and have a little discussion and talk about the video. Do not. Well, there are people in the video, and I don't want people to freak out. Okay, so just go with the video, just watch it, listen, be attentive to it, and then I'll ask you some questions about it after. Okay, it's from several years ago. From I think it's now they have the national championship game for college. They don't have bowls. I mean, they still have bowls, but now they have a championship or something like that. And I lost her again. Don't mention football. All right, check. All right, and this is the pregame.
Since the loss here in a couple years. Done.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Input can't be open.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Put it on the, oh, it's not even appearing on the, I wonder if Windows 11 did something. I'm still on Windows 10, so I'm wondering if it deleted it, only because I put the file on the desktop and I don't see it here now. Try it again. Thing. File Explorer. Where are you? There you go. Just play it. Actions. A new version is available. No. I can't install it anyways. They won't let me install them. Don't have the permissions.
A couple years ago, the Tigers in white, purple, and gold having scrambled borders. Our national anthem. We go to public address announcer, Sir John Marino.
Help me see it better. Thank you.
There it is. Please rise and remove your hats as our nation's colors are presented by the Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base New Orleans All-Service Color Guard, including members of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard.
I'm sorry?
Or you can move that. Like the.
Yeah. What do you need? Can you bend it down?
Yeah, just so I could see, because.
Oh, sorry. Apologize. You're welcome. So thank you for telling me.
Tonight, as we honor our nation, please remain standing and welcome members of the ROTC units from Louisiana State University and Clemson University, joined by the President of the United States and the First Lady.
This is during the first presidency. This is, so you can tell it's a few years old.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome multi-platinum, two-time Grammy Award-winning artist, Louisiana's own Lauren Daigle.
She's still a thing? Is anyone? She's still around?
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright star through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we walk, were so glad.
The patriotic mascots, baby.
And the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that I find, but still there. Ooh, say just that spangled yet
We are built for this. This is what we do. You can hardly go one day. What are they?
Made it to the title game. Now we got a chance to prove a lot more people wrong. It's years of hard work.
Skip over this.
That's up the road.
Buckle their chips sacks, which involves the
There we go.
Saturday college football. Mighty Bengals go to war 81 miles from their home campus.
There were only like 11 men in the football team.
Champions, Clemson underdogs to this team tonight.
Why are there like 11
Superdome.
Yeah. Only 11?
And they harness the energy, the emotion, and then you're overwhelmed by it. They play for a championship in this building for the fourth time. They're
Get out the way! See, then they push the security guy out of the way.
They're so charged up, they knocked over the photographer on the way under the field. Confident football team. Understatement.
Yep.
Clemson, more quiet assurance. Trevor Lawrence, the performance he put together with an upset stomach. The championship game a year ago against Alabama. They love being the underdog. Relish this role, does Dabo Sweeney. Seven Tigers are playing in their third national championship game. 36 like Trevor Lawrence. A championship a year ago. 14 guys started that championship
Yeah,
game.
he's in the NFL now. Was it Jacksonville or is he somewhere else? Man? Forget. This dude.
Kirk Dabo Sweeney's a Rocky fan. He's talked about Rocky 4. Rocky Balboa's going to beat Ivan Drago in Russia. That's the way you framed the challenge to his team who didn't know who Ivan Drago was, by the way.
He's actually used different Rocky references for different championships in the past, and this one happens to be Rocky 4 on the road.
Burrow leading the LSU captains out. A packed switch to the coin toss.
Welcome to the 2020 College Football Playoff National Championship game. Between the Clemson Tigers and the LSU Tigers. Congratulations.
Guess they're playing
For the title of I'm Chris Hoyt. This is Francisco PR. We and the remainder of our officiating crew are proud to represent the Pac-12 Conference on the field today. Now, special occasion requires a special coin. On one side of today's coin is the image of the National Championship trophy, and this is head. On the other side of the coin is the image of the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, and this is tail. Clemson is the designated visiting team. They'll call it toss. Heads or tails?
All right, there we go. I won't play the whole game for you because we'd be here for another, what, hour? It's only an hour game, right? Another hour.
60 minutes, right? All right. All right.
What question do you think I might want to ask you about that? What do you think? What do you think I might ask?
Or ask what the correlation between this class and that they should have.
Exactly. What do you think?
No clue.
No clue. Interesting. Well, ask yourself this basic question. Was it religious? How do you know? Huh? Yeah, no clue. Well, Socrates says, ignorance is the beginning of knowledge. Okay? That's Socrates. Right? So ask questions. That's all right. You know something. You just know that that's not religion, but you don't know why. Latin. All right, sir. No, I said I wasn't going to come after anybody, so I guess I wouldn't. Yes. She is. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Is she still around? I mean, I didn't. She's still around. She's still around. So, but the fact that she is a Christian or a religious person, that makes the whole event religious? Which portion? Okay, but the woman who was singing, the Christian, the religious woman, she wasn't praying with the football player, right? She didn't put her point to the sky. She just sang the national anthem, right? Right? I mean, she didn't sing a religious song, did she? You disagreed with him, right? I heard you guys over here, I think, saying it is religious.
Well, I said it is, but
It is religious? The national anthem is religious?
I don't know about
Okay. How do you know our national anthem is religious?
that. I didn't.
It doesn't, it doesn't mention God? Well, there are different verses, stanzas, we don't see. So there, yeah. Okay, interesting. Interesting. So because something mentions a religious figure, it's religious, necessarily. You could say that. Okay. So can an atheist talk about God? See? What's an atheist? Person who doesn't believe about God. Doesn't say no religion. I don't believe in any religion. Can they talk about God? What God is, what they think God is not, whether they think God is or is not. Yes. So when they're talking about God, does that suddenly make them now religious? Why? All right. That's a step forward, sir. Step forward. Like footprints in the sand and the seashore. There were two and then there were one. Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Like,
What's interesting?
like you can be in a religion that other people are in, but it comes down to the person himself on how deep they go into the religion and what aspects they bring into certain situations to make. Just like if someone who's like Muslim, they have to pray consistently in different areas like bathrooms or like closets and stuff like that. In no way, shape, or form are those spaces religious, but they're mainly religious based on their beliefs.
Well, that's interesting. They're making these things religious. But I would qualify, would a Muslim think that? Or would they just think, like, I have to pray where I have to pray, but really I shouldn't do my prayers like in a mosque?
I think that if they had the opportunity to, I think they would, but
Why? So, I'm sorry.
Why? Because I think that's just what they're taught to do, and I think if I'm not wrong, they're told that if they don't have a certain space like a church or they're praying to, that they turn other spaces into those spaces.
Okay. Because in some other religions, like, you know, Buddhism and stuff, if you have a shrine to the Buddha or to the Dharma, to the teaching of the Buddha in your home, you know, you can't, there are only certain places you can place it. It's in your home, but it can't be near like the bathroom where people relieve themselves. That's considered disrespectful. Have to be in a clean place, you know, in some way that's not normal, away from other things. So something makes that space safe for them. Makes it religious. Because it's that, because it is religion, you have to treat it differently, right? So what is this? What is football then? What we were saying, American football. What is it? Sport. Sport. Yeah. Not trying to trick you, Peter. I mean, some of my questions are kind of tricksy, you know, I'm trying to throw a curveball, and others are just like, you know, hey, it's a sport. Which is what?
Team-oriented game.
Huh?
A team-oriented game to achieve goal.
Team-oriented? There are no sports with just one person? Golf? Golf is good. Some people would say no. I'm not saying no to that one. Some golf, an old fat guy, take me out. Get out the putter. I'll show you a wedge, sir. No, but okay, yeah, you got a team sport like football. There are guys, you know, there's a team, but other sports where there's no team. No team involved, it's one person, a team of one. What makes it, how do you recognize it? How, when you see it, do you know it's a sport and not a religion?
Athletic activity.
Athletic activity? Okay. You ever go to a yoga class? Ever see a yoga class? Yeah. What's yoga? Anyone do yoga? Namaste. Namaste. I bow to you in Sanskrit, meaning I bow to the divine in you. Oh, it mentions God. The divine, the Godhood that is in you. That's what namaste means. That's why if you're a Christian, then don't say namaste. If you're certain Christians will. Catholics will, because we'll do anything. Whoa, you want us to sacrifice a goat to Asmodeus? Sure. Okay. But I do it now, though, as I like to Columbus meeting. Yoga, stretching, all sorts of postures. Saying now, I know the American, the Western form of yoga is nothing. I call it foga. It is not yoga. What it is stretching. But if you go to India, like real India, and I mean, you'll see people on street corners doing yoga. These guys with long beards and long dreads, and covered in paste and stuff, you know, and all having symbolic religious meetings and standing on one foot for days just because they can, saying their mantras, their sacred syllables, in order to open up their mind to realize that really they are the divine and the divine is them. So, I mean, there's athletics in religion too. There's exercise. I mean, you go to a Catholic mass, it's up and down, up and down. Maybe not as much as it was before, but still. Stand up, kneel down, stand up, sit down, stand up again. How can you just sit there? You have to get up and down, up and down. Okay, all right, that's plausible, but what else? What else? How do you recognize it as a sport and not a religion? I mean, what is a sport? What is a religion? What's the difference? How can you tell? I mean, you pointed out, what's the first letter of your last name? H? I want to cheat. But I got to put it in my mind. Sorry. We'll get there. Well, I have two choices. Think of it as Howerton. Howerton? All right, good. Stop. What was I saying? Oh yeah, what's religion? How can we tell the difference? Yeah, how can you? How do you just instinctively know when I show you that video that it wasn't a religious event? Okay, why? Does that make a difference? That it's not religious or is religious? Huh? Huh? Okay. So you have a referee, someone judging what's going on the field that tends you to believe it's probably not religious, more of a sport. Okay. How does that make it a sport though? Do you have a judge of some sort? Yes. Have you ever seen a Catholic bishop all dressed up? Oh, he's not wearing pads. Doesn't wear a helmet, but does wear a hat. Actually, in the old days, they did used to wear buskins and stuff. Bishop dressed in mosses and evil stuff. Some of the military uniforms. But anyway, a scoreboard. Huh? A scoreboard. A scoreboard. Ooh, what's that? Good. How does it show it's a game? Awesome. It shows who's winning or who lost, who had the most points. Okay? But does every sport have a scoreboard? Yes? Is that the case? Every sport, well, soccer, yeah, okay, lacrosse, okay, that's football. Swimming? Are swimmers happening on that a sport? That's not a sport at the time. You have to get there faster than the other person. It's also not. Well, sometimes they have teams where you have the relay. So you do have relays. That's a singular effort. So you're not gaining points. You don't gain points in golf. In fact, you're going to lose points, right? It's based on strokes. It's not based on points. It's based on the movement. How many times you had to stroke the ball to get it into the hole. That was a good idea, sir. It's a good idea. Interesting. Okay, so I mean, yeah, I guess. Huh? What? I stuttered? I'm thinking stutter. Oh, thank you. No, I'm not stuttering. Well, maybe I am. I'm just thinking about what my next question. What, you thought you stuck me, sir? Watch out for you, sir. Make me look bad. So, my overriding concern, I asked you what sport is, because I think we have the same problems with like a word or a concept like religion. You know, you look at this video, you instinctively know it's not religious. However, it's full of the same things you find in religion. People praying, okay? Judges of authority, people who judge, I mean, Hinduism, well, they don't do sacrifices anymore, but traditionally they did. I mean, they do sacrifices, not sacrificing animals. But, you know, you have the whole priesthood, and there's one guy who does the sacrifice, there's a guy who does all the chants to the gods, and there's a guy who supervises to make sure the sacrifice is done properly. Yeah, the same thing like anyone Presbyterian? Anyone want to self-identify Presbyterian? Any friend Presbyterian? Presbyterian? The session? You know, whenever there's Holy Communion Day, you're going to celebrate the Lord's Supper in a Presbyterian church. At least this is what I thought, but, you know, it might not be the thing. But when I went to communion service at Presbyterian church, the session comes out. They're like different elders, you know, who have different roles. Some are preachers, but some are ministers of the Word and Sacrament, and some are governing elders. They're almost like bishops in a way. But anyways, you know, the elders of the session will come out and sit there
watch the minister of word and sacrament as we perform the Lord's Supper to make sure he did it properly. I mean, the Catholic Church is very controlling, but no bishop sits there like in the front pew in the parish, like, all right, I want to see Father Bob, how he's going to do his mass today. Let's see, got my checklist here. Did he say that? Did he do that? Did he bow his head when he was supposed to? Yes, this did. No, but they, man, that's control. Any Catholic bishop would love that kind of control. Watching what the minister does. So you do have rule keepers, referees, even in religion. You have outfits. Why are they all dressed up? Why does it matter that they're what they're wearing? Why are in these like skin tight leotard type things, jersey type things, helmets with all these symbols and colors on them? Can't just come out all in white and maybe one team's in white, one team's in black, so you can tell the difference, or whatever color, red or blue, or whatever. So they do in high ally if you play it. Singing songs, a special book that you have to follow. Yes, sir.
Could that, like, how they appear, could that be related to, like, celestial rank? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me.
That's the kind of like, and that's like your follower. And like, they all dress the same because they are the people, and then the coaches are dressed differently because they're more authoritative.
Interesting. Yeah, is that always the case?
In most cases.
Okay, most case. Okay, fine. That's fine.
With amongst the players, you know, doesn't mean that's not dressed differently. They get a patch that has a seal on it.
Yeah, so they got something, right? They get something that designates them that they're the person that the referee will talk to. Correct. Talk to everybody. And you have like all guys chatting. Right. The reason I was just asking is because, you know, watching the Yankees playing the Red Sox, their managers are all dressed up like baseball players, even though not one of them is going to go on the field, right? They all dress. You know, imagine if football coaches had to come out, but you know, Dable or I forget who's the coach for Philadelphia. He had to come out wearing a helmet and shoulder pads to coach. Okay, let's coach the game. Just coaching the game, dressed up like a football player. Why not? Why are baseball players? Why are the managers of the baseball team out there dressed up like they're ready to play? Send me in, coach. Wait, I am the coach. I'm going in. Okay, so something to think about. Part of our readings. But here's another question related. God bless you, so you keep me. Here's another question. This is from the beginning. The president comes out. Why do they have soldiers there? Yeah, go ahead. Do you think that's their primary job? I mean, he has security, doesn't he? The Secret Service? Yeah, they got soldiers. They got a Marine, they got a Navy guy, Air Force guy. I couldn't tell if they had a Coast Guard guy there. Army guy. What are they doing there? Oh, yeah, good. I got that, but why? It's a sporting event, right? It's not a military event, right? You're not going to camp so-and-so to watch everyone march around. You know, it's not Honor D-Day or something like that. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
He was doing a pledge of allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance. They did the Pledge of Allegiance? National anthem. But, so what does that have to do with our military? True, they serve us. They're keeping bad people, bad actors, making them think twice about attacking us or doing something bad to us, so we can be here and sit here in peace without having to worry about who might be trying to blow us up or, yeah, they're serving us. But okay, they're serving us in the military, but this is not a military thing. This was the national championship for a football game. I got you, but someone over here. Ms. Howard, yes?
It's just to like show respect to the soldiers, culture, and like national anthem, to like the military and like all of what they do. Then physically being there, usually football games, they don't have soldiers there, so I think they just had soldiers come out to make the performance more nicer. Since it was a good football game, like the budget was there, they were trying to make it like better, like to the eyes, I guess, for like the audience. But like the meaning behind it is to pay respect to the soldiers that are fought.
Well, can't you do that? Don't we have holidays for that? Memorial Day? Can you see a soldier and say thank you for what you're doing? What? Why do we have to choose a football game?
Bigger than celebrations and holidays and stuff. I can't simply stating they decided that they were gonna celebrate, bring it there instead.
So if you follow that through, that means that at least the national championship football game, get enough people together to honor the service. But if you have a whole national holiday, people won't show up. Okay, all right. So we're honoring the, okay, that's great. Honor the servicemen and the servicewomen. Why there? I mean, okay, because you'll get a bunch of people there. All right. Why not honor other people? Why not have clergymen there? Honor them. They're doing a service. Firemen, police officers, ambulance drivers. Huh?
Maybe they just wanted like the military there and they didn't want like whoever was in charge. Maybe it's just a military base and they just wanted them.
Why? Why do you think? Let's go back to the opinion. Why did that person have that opinion? Why was it more important to have the branches of the military there at the football game than to have other people there who also served, who also worked for the federal government? What? But I have everybody who works at housing and urban development. Hey, come on down, on to this national championship. We want to honor you all. Hey, they work for the federal government too. They serve us. Why was the military there? Just wondering. With guns! Why were guns present? Couldn't you have the servicemen there and said, leave the rifles at home? This isn't a battle action. It's not a police action. It's nothing. Just show up in your uniform. Let's go to this miss.
It's because like current president surviving for me. It's in your profile. Of course, the president's gonna be there. And then I feel like some people have different beliefs and they feel so strongly in the beliefs that like they're willing to go to great lengths to show it, and no matter who it is. So like maybe like somebody, the military could be there to protect, it's like prevent a terrorist attack or something.
Okay, yeah. True. No, you're making a good point. Yeah, true. True. I would imagine they would just they had military there, would be security around the building, not marching. I mean, how are they going to protect the president when they're holding flags?
That's supposed to like,
Patriotism.
it's supposed to like, people watch football.
Yeah.
They tune in, like,
Oh, yeah.
that's just something that Americans feel, they watch football. So I feel like with the president being there and stuff like that, they want to show like, hey, like,
This is our country. Okay. Interesting. Not just things I think about. I mean, I'm not just asking these questions. I think about them myself. Why are they there with their guns? You know, there's nothing. The president was not in danger. He could have been, yeah, but he was not in danger. Apparently, you know, no one was threatening to kill him. Not yet. And yet they're there. Okay. What about if they were in a church? What about a mosque? And a bunch of guys in a mosque with rifles and machine guns. How does that make you feel? Does that make you feel patriotic or more religious? Like, yeah, they're supporting Islam or defending the Christian faith, onward Christian soldiers.
Conrad.
Huh?
It's kind of ironic that, people or soldiers are in the mosque with like machine guns.
Why?
Because, when you think of mosque, you think of religion, and in most religions, there's peace, not machine guns. And machine guns give off they give off the idea of like war. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
But when you think of religion, okay. When you think of religions, you think of peace. Is that right? Is that why you signed up for this course? Because if it said religion and peace, sir, would you have signed up for it? I'll get your name, sir, and then I'll get you. Then I'll start. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was.
No, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Okay. But the course isn't called Religion and Peace. So, I mean, it kind of begs the question, why do we have this course if it doesn't make you uncomfortable if you have, a bunch of crusading knights going to church to pray the night before they have to go off and kill the Muslims? Or they're going to go off and kill the Muslims because maybe they don't have to, they want to. But you have no problem with it at a football game. Guys coming out with rifles. Don't put the military on the streets of Washington, D.C. Oh, no. People get angry. They run to court on that one. Come out at the National Football Game. Oh, yeah. Honoring the troops. People don't go crazy over it. What if the Catholic Church had a military? It did once. Pope had a navy. He had soldiers. He still does in a way. There is security now, the Swiss Guard, but they're actually, technically in their history, they're the papal soldiers. And up until what was it, 1870s, I think, when they were invaded, the papal states were invaded and Rome was invaded by the Italian nationalists who wanted to have a unified Italy. They had to take away the papal states from the Pope. And yeah, his soldiers fought for him. He had soldiers fighting for him in defense of the papal states, the Pope. Wrong? Scandalous? What do you think? Religion and violence. Can religion and violence coexist? Just like, no, sports and violence coexist all the time. That we just seen. We tried out the military. We have jets fly over the Super Bowl. Military jets, like the stealth bombers that drop those bunker buster bombs. That's what their job is, dropping bombs. It's flying over the Super Bowl. Why? Okay. Oh, they want to recruit people to be soldiers, to fight and kill. Okay. Defend and kill when you have. Yeah. Okay. So isn't that appropriate for religions as well? Don't religions at times have to defend themselves from attack? Defend themselves from people who are trying to corrupt it and change it? Okay. So a burning at the stake here now is not unwarranted? You think? No, now you're not so sure? Now you said yes. But that's what they did. They burned people at the stake. They didn't chop off their head, But they didn't have needles to stick in their arm or drugs. And they wanted to show the person was going to burn in hell. So it was didactic. They were teachers, a teaching moment, showing this is what will happen to you if you teach false things.
Still, you don't get your hand chopped off.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems fair, right? Yeah, you steal something, get your hand chopped off. And that way you'll never do it again. Or at least if you do it again, you can't say, well, you don't have the right hand from you do it. You can't say, well, I didn't know. I didn't know, Your Honor. I didn't know it was a crime. Show us your right hand. You mean my stump? Okay. Give us his left hand. So what's wrong with that? We got no problem with it in other situations. Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God? Don't want to answer that one, but you don't know what I might do to you. Yes, I do, Dr. Dunn. Okay, good, good. Do you believe in my God? Uh-oh. No. Okay, now it's on, baby. You know? All right. Food for thought until Thursday. God bless you all. Have a good day. I'll see you on Thursday. Yeah, go ahead.
Enroll in a class on Canvas.
Enroll in the class on Canvas?
Because it's showing up.
I have no idea. That's something, go to the registrar as soon as possible, if not immediately, because I have no idea. I can't enroll you. I don't have that power. So yeah, you got to go to the registrar and tell them there's an issue. Huh?
Do you know where that is?
I thought the registrar was in Campbell building, but don't quote me on that. Because if I send you the wrong place, I'm sorry. But hold on a second. Let's see here. Good and Mercy University. All right, so, okay, I'm gonna assume, I'm just gonna look, all right, see if I can get it. Admissions, aid, student life, maybe the registrar would be under that. I'm gonna look at about and see, and usually had it though. All right, let me go to student life and see if the registrar is in there. Come on. There we are, registrar. Okay, yeah, it's in Campbell Hall, which is right next door, right across there. You go into Campbell Hall. Thank you. You're welcome, Miss.
All right.
Yes, gentlemen.
Can we take a picture with you?
Sure. What?
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Oh, you have to sit.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And to create accountability and show connection with the professors,
I
we
know.
are required to take a picture.
Yes.
If you don't feel comfortable taking a picture, we do not have to take one.
No, I feel comfortable. Remember, read the syllabus. You're one of the exceptions for class attendance, so please read the syllabus. And, you got to give me your schedule so I know when you're going to be absent for your games, and you have to bring a paper that I have to sign that tells you what you're supposed to do. Just so you know, I don't know why. Could be NCAA stuff. I have no idea, but it's in the rules, so we're supposed to do it. So just be aware of that. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
If you remember, you.
I'm taking a picture, so. Unless you want me to just go like that.
All right.
Thank you.
This makes a lot. That's nice. Have a good day, guys.
Thanks, you too.